All right, we got our little disc, ATV disc, ready to rock to go out to, we're gonna try to work up the ground a little bit. We've got our little single row manual seeder here. We're gonna change the disc in here so we can plant Egyptian wheat. Places it's already tilled and ready to kind of go. Might have to break it up a little bit, might be a little hard still, but we'll see. But we're gonna get some Egyptian wheat for some plot screening and some axis screening. Here we go. I made these little makeshift ramps here so I could put the disc out wherever we go in the field. Kind of handy, really simple. Just a couple of green treated 4x4 and 1-inch lengths on the bottom. That's it. We kind of went through the side with that little disc. It's really hard ground in here. Loosens up back that way where we've tilled before. This stuff is super hard packed right now. Broke it up a little bit, but we're just gonna do what we can. Even if we get some down in here, we come in tomorrow and kill that. Have a nice thatch layer. I think we'll be all right, but we're gonna just try it. We've got our Egyptian wheat here. We've got our planter. We're gonna try this size and see what happens with this plate in there, and if it grabs 2 at a time, great. I mean, we're a better chance, really. For just a simple little tool with rough cut preparation, just manual planting, not too bad. It's buried in here. Everywhere I try to test and dig up, I'm usually able to find some, which is positive, and it's getting covered with enough duff or dirt. So I think we're gonna be okay. Alrighty, we are out here. We're just changing out SD cards. So we came in here with just the really simple ATV disc. Ground is super hard already, so it wasn't like the best, but what it did, it at least killed most of the weeds and grass that was in here. Then we came in and planted Egyptian wheat in this strip. What this does, it's gonna be a screen for access when you come down this trail and get up into this deer stand. And then we're gonna be putting a blind in alongside the lake over here, and that's gonna be screened in with this Egyptian wheat. And we'll be able to maybe cut a hole in there and have that blind tucked back there and be able to shoot hopefully above the Egyptian wheat out of that stand. We might have to cut a little gap in here, but should be all right. The main thing is improving the access, because when you come down the trail behind me here, you're completely exposed to the hillsides and spots they bed on the neighbors here. So they see you or hear you coming in really easy in this spot. So we're just trying to improve on that sound barrier and visual barrier we play the wind here so they can't smell you, but it's still, if you hit those senses, mature buck only has to smell you, hear you, or see you, and game over. So we have one buck that's been hitting this mineral site here, a lot of does and some smaller bucks, and just pretty typical this time of year. We usually have maybe not as many bucks as we've had recently, but they're hitting that mineral really hard. And obviously as the fall changes, late winter or late fall, we have a scrape tree here with a licking branch, and they were feeding, the bucks were feeding in here and hitting this licking branch all fall, and then especially late fall they were coming in and here and feeding and checking that scrape. So we're gonna keep getting that set up. What that does is once we get that set up, we're not gonna really try to get over there and touch that too much. We'll drive there with the ATV and maybe check it or something. Or we'd like to put a camera over it. I think we will, but for now, we're just going to make sure that licking branch is still established, which I can see it dangling over there. Let's go take a look. We set this one up last year, probably late summer, midsummer. The point there is to get it started. See, you can see bare dirt in here, licking branch hanging down just about hip height, and it's able to dangle freely here and move around. It's a good little spot. Don't really have to add any scent to it. The deer use it already. So we're gonna continue to keep this looking good. We've got this killed off from last year. It's really stayed killed. It's pretty impressive. So we're gonna be able to plant some of this year. Adds a little bit more volume to our fall food plot in here, which is super exciting. And we're gonna keep doing that with all of our plots. We're gonna just keep expanding them by killing off the perimeter. One, it's helping the current plants that are inside that perimeter to have more nutrients, so you're not competing with the edge cover. And so this helps get more nutrients to the plants, but also allows you to expand it a little bit every year. And I think this killing off, planting the brassicas and this stuff works really well. A lot of thatch. The seeds are able to get down to the soil with a little bit of rain, and it's dynamite. So, and it keeps moisture down there too. So when you have these high temperature days, long stretches in a row, and hitting these droughts in this area of the state of Minnesota, it's crucial to have that moisture on there. So when you're going into fall, you can plant and have those success stories throughout your season. As you can see, it's all grown up in here. A lot of weeds, a lot of grass. This is a big clover plot, and then half brassicas. But we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna probably cut this down this year. It's a little too high, so we're gonna get this looking nice. I can see clover in here that's 2.5, 3 feet tall, which is awesome. But here we've got giant thistles growing up, and we need to just get rid of those before it gets out of hand. I'm seeing buds come out here, and we don't want more seeds of thistles coming in, so we'll be cutting that here shortly. We're gonna go hop on the mower, get the mower hooked up to the ATV, do a little bit more cutting, then we're gonna go check another camera. We'll show what we're seeing at the end of this video. Stay tuned. All right, so there's our corn plot up there, and then it extends out to the right once you get to the top of the hill. I'm starting to mow the trail back in that cuts over to this food plot that connects this pinch point and then bedding area back in here, and then bedding area back in another oxbow that direction. And this is mainly clover that's just overgrown with weeds and grass, but there's quite a bit of clover in there that we're going to end up cutting, so I cut in the perimeter of that. This is all rye coming in through here where we had our brassicas last fall, and we have some tree plantings in here that I kind of cut around. But from this food plot, I cut in just some rough trails kind of leading back to that pinch point as a way to, and I kind of zigzagged it through the brush from three different points of entry into this plot. And then late summer we'll come in and we'll reseed, we'll knock all this down, kill it, and reseed this. But that's going to allow us to have some easier trails that are going to naturally come into play, because they're going to take the path of least resistance in here. And so that's going to funnel them a few different ways into this food plot, and then we hang a stand up in this group of cottonwoods. That's a gun stand that got blown down during a storm this spring, but so we just kind of cut in the perimeter around the trees and the food plots and made some cuts down to the pinch point. Now we're off. We're going to continue improving this trail back up there, cutting around this food plot, and we're going to be spraying this here soon and getting rid of weeds and the grasses that are coming up. And we're looking good. We got corn in here that's, I mean, getting close to a foot tall. Okay, we just finished doing some rough cut mowing here. What we wanted to do is cut around all these apple trees. There's clover and some other stuff in here that'll be able to come up here as we keep this managed. And it's gonna be a nice little food plot in here, really. That's one of our major stands for the property. And we just planted Egyptian wheat as screen in here, Egyptian wheat as screen on this side of that tree, so we can access from that direction, access from that direction. We have corn planted along in here. There's screen up in front of that blind. There's corn planted all the way through here. That connects up into this major 2 veins of corn going that direction. Clover, brassica, apple trees is going to create a lot of cool interactions in here this fall, I believe.